Call the May meeting in the Upper Big Blue Board of Directors to order. If you're able, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The Open Meetings Act is posted in the back of the room. Public notice was published in the York News Times. I have a copy up here if anybody wants to look at it. I ask that all cell phones be silenced during the meeting. Please be aware that the meeting is being recorded. Please, when speaking, the desktop microphone button must be depressed to ensure that your comments are recorded in their entire context. The recording becomes part of the public record along with the written board minutes in accordance with state statute. Roll call.
Bethune. Here. Anthony. Richard. Here. Dickinson. Eberspacher. Elge. Here. Hottershell. Here. Keener. Here. News. Perry. Here. Peterson. Here. Siebert. Here. Staley. Here. Stair. Here. Weiss. Yates. Here. Miller.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Consideration of directors, for excused absences, I have 3, Doug Dickinson, Paul Weiss, and Mike Noose.
Move to excuse.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to excuse all 3. Any comments, questions? Roll call.
Richard.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Hottershell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson. Yes. Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stair.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
You have a printed agenda in front of you. Is there a motion to adopt that agenda as printed?
Move to adopt. Second.
I got Roger and
Roger did first.
Kendall.
Siebert. You got it? Questions? Roll call.
Kendall. Yep. Elge.
Yes.
Hottershell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stair.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
You also have minutes of the last meeting in front of you, which I think you also probably got an email copy earlier in the month. Is there any corrections that need to be made to those minutes? If not, I would entertain a motion to accept them as printed.
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. You got it?
Yep.
Questions? Roll call.
Hottershell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Abstain.
Stair.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Miller.
Abstain.
Motion carried.
Do we have a presentation from EA Engineering on the Recharge Lake Sediment Retention System design update?
Yes, sir. All right. I'm Rob Lutz with EA Engineering. I'm the project manager for the Recharge Lake sediment project. We have recently started the design. Got off to a little bit of a slow start because there was some issues getting survey information from a previous consultant. But we have that now, at least what they were willing to provide, which was enough for us to do the design. And So we have a rough concept which builds off the existing plans that you guys have to put in. Oh, it doesn't show up on the screen, does it? Okay. The magenta lines are baffles to slow down water as it comes through and allow it to settle out. The green areas are wetland enhancement areas where we'll do some grading and some plantings to have emergent wetland areas. And then the pink line is a weir to then further slow down water and encourage sediment to drop out before it gets into the main part of the lake. On the other side of the road there, we have first another wetland area, and then another series of baffles and a series of weirs as well. All this is designed to keep sediment out of the main part of the lake. As you know, there's a fair amount of sediment coming through the watershed. The baffles are, as I said, designed to slow that water down, give it more time to settle, for the silt to settle out before it gets in the main part of the lake. Our current plan is to construct those out of rock riprap, and the reason for that would be not only will these be a location for to slow down that water, it's also then a location in the future when you need to do maintenance, you can go out on them with a long reach excavator to remove sediment. Much less expensive way of getting it done than having to dredge a lake. Also, we'll have some deepened areas around those structures through other projects and past monitoring. We've found that sediment does tend to settle in some of those deeper areas. And so the more sediment we can get to accumulate around those weirs, the more cost effectively we can remove that sediment in the future. The weirs themselves, again, would be rock structures, and they would be stepped down from a little around the current water level or the normal water level, I should say, to a little bit below that. Again, constructed with riprap. It'll have a steep slope on the upstream end and a little bit flatter slope, so as the water's rushing across it, we have some protection from erosion going down. The wetland areas, there we're targeting depths of 0 to 4 feet, so it's just going to be some minor grading to get that done, and then incorporating some planning. Right now, where we're at in the design process, we're thinking we don't want to put too much money into the planting part. As you guys know, over time, without some pretty serious management, you're going to end up with a lot of cattails anyway. I still think it's a good idea to put some plantings in there of other wetland species, but unless you're going to have a really intense management of those areas, the cattails tend to dominate. But if we could have some other species in there as well, that's good for habitat. The main reason for the wetland areas, other than good habitats purposes, is it will slow down some of that water as it's coming from the immediate drainage areas, not the entire watershed, but just from the upland flow there. Slow that down and help with water quality.
Question on that.
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't we be better to use reeds instead of cattail?
Well, we wouldn't plant cattails. I'm just saying they're going to show up. So
I know, but I'd like, but I mean, if we had some reeds in there, that might help.
yes.
slow
So
down
yeah, what
cattail.
we would be looking at is like some bulrush and potentially some like arrowhead, stuff like that. But I just don't think it's worth spending a lot of money on it. Just get some in there, and hopefully some of that can spread. And all wetland plants really do a pretty good job of spreading. It's just the cattails do the best job. So where we're at right now in the design process is we've done the grading here. What I've shown you is just big bold lines, but we've done the grading in CAD. We're working on putting together all the details Our first submittal will be 75% design, so it will include a pretty complete plan set, a draft set of technical specifications on how it should be constructed, as well as a cost estimate for construction, and that's just an engineer's estimate, to be clear, not a, we're not contractors. And then also a memo, just explaining all the design aspects. So that, I imagine here in the next 3 weeks or so, we should be able to finish up that 75% design. And then it will be sent to the staff for review, and then we'll incorporate comments and move forward and do a final design. Any other questions? Well, I appreciate the opportunity, and we really love these kinds of projects, and so we're very happy to be working with you guys on. So thanks for the time, and thanks for the opportunity on the project.
Appreciate the update, thank you.
Yep.
There are no questions at this time, okay. We'll move on to Water and Regulations Committee report. Mr. Siebert.
Water and Regulations Committee met on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026 at 7:00 p.m. at the NRD office. Those who participated were committee members Bethune, Dickinson, Elge, Howdershelt, Siebert, and Miller. Staff, other directors, and guests are also listed. Committee Chair Siebert acknowledged the legal notice of committee meeting was published in the York News Times. Siebert also advised those present that the current copy of the Nebraska Opens Meeting Act was posted at and available for review near the entrance to the boardroom in accordance with state law, and that all cell phones should be silenced during the meeting. Also, that members of the public may comment on any matter that is listed on the agenda. However, no committee action may be taken on such matters at this meeting in accordance with the Nebraska Opens Meeting Act, and that all comments on any listed items should be held until that item is considered. Action items. Flow meter request for approval list. For approved list. John Skolt with Symmetrics provided a PowerPoint and spec sheet on their model PS32 150 PSI clamp-on saddle meter. The meter has been used in California for many years and features a ceramic bearing as the only moving part and a 4 to 5 year battery life to the totalizer head. He was questioned regarding the possibility of freezing and breaking the ceramic bearing for applications of watering livestock during the winter months. The totalizer is password protected, so reading cannot be changed. A question was raised regarding whether the totalizer also displays gallons per minute. John will have the answer prior to the board meeting, so I guess we'll see what that answer is. Motion to add the Symmetrics PS32 150 PSI clamp-on side saddle meter to the Upper Big Blue Natural Resources District approved meters list. That motion carried 5 yes, 1 no, and I so move.
Second.
Been moved, seconded by Peterson.
At your packets there, I added a sheet on the questions that were raised at the committee meeting and the answers that we got regarding that. So for your review, I think they've pretty much answered everything that we had asked. I know there's probably still some questions on, is this head any better than the others? Because that's the only, with them, and then the issue with the ceramic bearing in the cold winters that people use it for livestock. I don't know if we have a good solid answer on that or not, so.
Did they come up with the gallons per minute?
Yes, it does have gallons per minute. It shows gallons per minute as when it's in operation, and then we add that the totalizer will be set in acre inches as according to our rules.
And that's what the picture is, right? That's
Yes,
the
that's what the picture shows there. It shows the gallons per minute is the top number, the bolder number, and then the totalizer is the bottom number.
Will we manage the battery situation the same we are now? Like if it just goes dead, we'll go
Yes,
change
yeah,
them?
we would, the batteries would be managed the same way that we're managing our batteries now, so. And of course, it's not the same battery as the other, so it would be a different battery, but
My problem with screens like these is they always get condensation in them, and I wish he was here for me to ask him, but
Microphone, please.
my problem with screens like these is they always get condensation in them. I wish he was here to ask him. I mean, it's a big problem with all the meters that I have with screens like this. You can't read them, so you have to almost tear them apart to look at them.
Also, usually that screen, after about 5 years, you can't read it anymore either. Like the sun deteriorates it pretty quick.
we did ask John, we sent him a email question here, and he says, yes, we have an active engineering project to get a software recover for that meter. So that's, I mean, they're looking at getting
So it's
a
a
cover
problem,
for.
so they know it's a problem.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even all the mechanical meters have their own cup that goes over it, and they even have their own lid that goes on top of that first.
Right, exactly, so. Yeah, the meter head's gonna have pretty much the same issues as the other meter heads that look like that, so.
Any other questions, comments? Motion is to approve the meter. Roll call.
Keener.
No.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
No,
Staley.
No.
Stare.
No.
Yates.
No.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard. No. Ebersmacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Ottershell.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes. That's 6.
Motion carried, 7-6.
Didn't realize it was that close.
okay, item B, EA Engineering Science Contract Modification. Rob Lutz and Dale Schultman were present to request a contract modification to the in-season Betos sampling project. Rob explained while reviewing the scope of work in the RFP, they focused on the sentence that proposed study will focus on determining the loss of nitrogen leaching from different soil types and fertilizer application practices, including traditional fall fertilizer application, side dress fertilizer application, fall manure application, or other in the lower loop NRD, Central Platte NRD, and Upper Big Blue NRD. In doing so, they overlooked the following sentence, which states 3 fields for each fertilizer application practice. They also stated in reviewing the RFP again, it is clearly stated that there will be 9 fields to be sampled in the project. To ensure the project stays on track, EA has completed the deep samples in all 9 fields and will be completing the 8-foot samples the week of May 18th. EA is also committed to keeping the project moving forward until the modification is accepted or if a different direction is taken. Rob and Dale emphasized that the situation had not previously occurred during a bidding process. The following questions were raised on the bidders of the project. Number of bidders for the project. 3 contractors submitted bids for this project. 2 of the bidders could fulfill all the requirements in the RFP. 1 could only do the shallow sampling. With modification, is EA still at the low bid qualified providers? And the answer was yes. With the modification, EA is now at $315,307. Spheros, next highest bid is $319,500. What about rebidding the project? Because the bids are already public information, rebidding could create issues with fair bidding practices. Will this cause an issue with the auditors? Not likely, because EA is still the low bidder of the qualified providers. The contract modification documents were emailed out to the Water Committee on April 30th for their review and are included in the committee packet. Motion to accept and authorize David Eichenberg, General Manager, to sign EA Engineering Science contract modification in the amount of $124,720.40, which revises the total contract amount to $315,307 and allows EA Engineering Sciences to continue for the 3 years of the project. That motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded by Peterson. Those of you who weren't here, is there any questions from anyone? Rob is still here to answer questions. Or does everyone understand what happened?
Talk about it when I wasn't.
Okay, well,
Explain it a little bit.
Rob, you want to give us the simple story?
Sure.
I'll make it quick. So, first of all, when we were reviewing the RFP, kind of the first spot we saw it talk about fields, or I should say I saw it talk about fields, it talked about 3 fields. It was talking about 3 fields of different types. On the last page, it does specifically say 9 fields. So it was a misunderstanding, and as I said last week, I regret the misunderstanding, the error there, and with it going, in my understanding, from 3 to 9 fields was a very big difference in our effort. I did bring the first time I realized this was at the kickoff meeting, and Anna said something about 9 fields, and I was like, you mean, I was like, how many fields? And I was thinking 3, so right after the kickoff meeting, I brought it up to them, and as an issue, and then, as I said last week, I just want to do, whatever is best for the NRD, so we will do whatever we need to do to support the project. If you decide you want to rebid it, we'll make sure all the sampling gets done. I want to emphasize, like, we want to do what's ever best for you guys, and be the best partner we can. And we did do this first round of shallow sampling. It went well this week. So, any questions beyond that?
Go ahead.
Could you send the board, sorry, it's on.
Okay. Excuse me.
Could you send the board the RFP by email, please?
What's that?
Could you send the board the RFP by email sometime this week?
Not the RFP, I didn't.
No, could you?
Oh, yes, I can send you the RFP and.
Thank you.
And, yeah, no problem.
Was that not in the,
The RFP isn't in here, that was
was it
presented.
in the committee packet?
Just the modification was,
Okay.
the RFP was, sent out when we had the project bid, so I guess I didn't resend it out again. But I sure can send it out to everybody.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
I got a question. So originally were the bids public knowledge? Oh, I'm sorry. So were the bids public knowledge before?
They were public knowledge at the board meeting when they were accepted.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I guess my only thought is, that Rob knew that the next bid was $319,000, so when he found this error, or this overlook, this mistake, it would be real easy for him to bid a little bit less with the expectation that they were going to get it. I mean, it's just a comment, I'm not saying, what they did was right or wrong, but, so I don't know if that's a real, I don't know what I want to say, competitive, legitimate bid, because they got a second chance a little bit, so, to correct their overlook. It's just a comment.
Still less than the other one.
What?
It's still less than the next one.
Please use your microphone.
Yes, but they knew what the next one was, when they found this oversight.
Yeah,
So, because it was public knowledge, oops. Because they knew what the next highest bid was, because it was public knowledge, but so when they refigured, well, I'm gonna say refigured. But it's real easy for them to bid $1,000 less, and with anticipation, we'll.
Well, see, I look at it different. I look at the amount, not the company. You're looking at the company.
No.
Because the other bid was, if it's 319,
Yeah.
okay, so there's still less money. It's just my 2 cents on it. I get what you're saying.
The comment was made about the auditor would look at this more favorably than if we rebid it. Can that be explained a little more? Or am I not understanding it right?
In my opinion, rebidding it would be a disadvantage for all bidders because everybody's bid is known. I would assume that the auditors would look more favorable just to reconsider the amount rather than rebidding it and having a much different outcome of the bids.
When you bid this, how many people looked at this?
How many, our original bid, so there was, myself I was the main person. It did get looked at by a couple other technical people as well as then some non-tech, like people that help us make it look good as well. So it did get reviewed by a couple other people, and that error did not get caught.
Are you an engineer?
I am an engineer, yes. One thing that I will say is, not that this matters as far as what you're talking about on, the proper way to bid it, but we're also completing this work for Central Platte, NRD, and then also we'll be completing a very similar project for Lewis and Clark NRD. So the Central Platte is in the same USGS study, so we have a very good familiarity on how it should be done and how it should be reported and stuff like that as far as the project moves forward.
How many fields did the other NRDs? are you doing for them?
The Central Platte is doing 8 fields with the almost the exact same scope as you're doing. You have one difference in the fact that on select fields, we'll be doing a post-harvest, post-fertilization sampling event. Central Platte's not doing that. Lewis and Clark is, they've split it's 3 locations with 2 fields each. So technically 6 fields, but they're only doing 2 sample points per field. So a total of 12 sample points. So it's a little different. They're not with the USGS study. They're doing it kind of on their own. They've seen what you guys are doing and they liked it. And so now they're trying to do something similar.
Go ahead.
I think on the bidding process with what Lynn brought up, technically what he would be bringing up is the fact that it's already been set up as unfair because someone's already got the option to rebid when the number was already known. If we actually set it up for rebid, everybody's in the same boat. They kind of know what numbers are already out there, and then they would all get to Yeah, they have an idea what it is, but technically, as of right now, they got to rebid, and they were the only ones that knew what the other number was. So, not saying what it should or shouldn't be, but just that I think Lynn has a legitimate point anyways.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a legitimate to that, but I think this is an error that was not intentional, and sometimes it's like with courts, you don't overthrow a trial because they made a small error. It has to be egregious enough that we need to start over, and I just didn't see it there.
It'd have to be something with negligence. It'd have to be like negligence in the legal sense.
Yeah, yes.
I'm not suggesting there, but we rebid it, but I just wanted to bring that point out, you know, and I guess I did, so that, you know,
I wasn't here at this last committee meeting, but when we first sent out the RFP, everybody in the room was wondering why it was so much lower.
Yeah.
I think that was even asked.
Yeah.
And when I did review that, I, in their document, the part where it tells, you can read it about 3 different ways because the first time I read it is, okay, I'm seeing, you know, 3 fields, but I'm also seeing we got 3 sites in each field, so that's the way I read it. I didn't read it for that part of it, so yeah, and I'll admit that when I read through there, I missed that too in their proposal because it really didn't state it says 3, but it doesn't say it's fields, it just says 3. I can't remember how it states it now, but anyway. Yes, either way it could, well, and it was in the last page, basically the layout of what we needed, it was stated clearly there.
Justin?
If we just went with the 3 that's in the contract we have with EA, how would that affect our data versus having the full 9 sets?
It would really diminish the quality of the data that we're collecting.
Also, at this point, we didn't want you to not have the data as planned, so we've done the first 2 events with all 9 fields.
Any other comments? Patty, well, I guess the motion is in front of you. It's on the wall over there. Does anybody want it read? If not, roll call.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
yes.
Stair.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Ebersmacher.
Yes.
Elge.
No.
Ottershell.
No.
Keener.
No.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried, 10 yes, 3 no.
Thank you.
Okay, item C, 11 aquifer quality well abandonment cost share assistance program applications have been reviewed by staff and recommended for final payment totaling $10,750. A list is attached. Motion to make cost share payments for 11 well abandonments as reviewed by the committee at a cost of $10,750. This motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stair.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Ebersmacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Ottershell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item D, 17 water meter repair cost share assistance applications were reviewed by staff and have been recommended for final payments totaling $7,744.53. A list is attached. Motion to make cost share payments for 17 water meter repair cost share assistance applications as reviewed by the committee in the amount of $7,744.53. This motion carried, 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Seconded.
Eberspacher. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Siebert,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
Stair,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Eppersbacher,
Yes.
Elge,
Yes.
Ottershell,
Yes.
Keener,
Abstain.
Perry, yes. Peterson,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item E, the committee reviewed the irrigated acres certification for 6 parcels totaling 392.83 acres, yielding an increase in irrigated acres of 77.84 acres. The total irrigated acres within the district is now 1,250,587.32 acres. Motion to certify acre changes as presented to the committee. This motion carried, 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Yates. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Staley,
Yes.
Stair,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher,
Yes.
Elge,
Yes.
Ottershell,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item F, water meter maintenance. There was no invoice received prior to the committee meeting, so there is nothing for that item. Item G, 2 invoices were received from the University of Nebraska for work completed February 1st, 2026 through February 30th, 2026 in the amounts of $25,061.36 and $2,557.48 for a total of $27,618.84. These invoices cover the last of the core sampling and some of the testing for these samples. The final report is due December of 2026. And this will all be for the Vadozone study. Motion to pay the University of Nebraska for work completed February 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2026 in the amount of $27,618.84. This motion carried, 4 yes, 2 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Stair. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Oh,
Oh, excuse me.
indirect cost, I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, there's indirect cost. Yeah. Any other comments? Roll call.
Stair,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Eppersbacher,
Yes.
Elge,
Yes.
Ottershell,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
Miller.
No.
Motion carried, 12 yes, 1 no.
Item H, Lower Loop Natural Resources District in-season Vadozone invoice. Lower Loop NRD is reporting agency for the Water Sustainability Grant Funds for the in-season Vados study. All the payment of invoices will go through the Lower Loop NRD for work completed on the study. Lower Loop NRD will submit invoices to the WSF for reimbursement and will bill 1/3 of the remaining cost to the partner districts. The Upper Big Blue NRD's 1/3 share of the Vados core sample kit and soil moisture sensor equipment and data is $11,709.73. Invoice is attached. Motion to pay Lower Loop NRD for 1/3 of the expenses incurring in the in-season Vadozone study in the amount of $11,709.73. Motion carried, 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Otter Shell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stare.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Rules enforcement update. Lift order of cease and desist. Nicholas Johnson has come into compliance with Rule 5, Chapter 22, Paragraph 02, renewal of the Phase 2 and 3 training requirement. Motion to lift order of cease and desist on Nicholas Johnson for coming into compliance with Rule 5, Chapter 22, Paragraph 02. This motion carries 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Otter Shell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stare.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item, issue order of cease and desist. Ronald Consbrook, Meyer Properties LLC in care of Robert Meyer, Jesse Schwartz, and Dallas Traster are out of compliance for not renewing their Phase 2 and 3 training. Staff have issued all required documents as outlined in Rule 4. Motion to issue orders of cease and desist to Ronald Consbrook, Meyer Properties LLC in care of Robert Meyer, Jesse Schwartz, and Dallas Traster for failing to renew training set forth in Rule 5, Chapter 22, Paragraph 02. This motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Question.
Sure.
Is there any cost with this cease and desist order? Are we spending any money to issue this cease and desist order?
Your microphone a little more. It might be on, it's not.
Okay. They say, is there any cost associated with this cease and desist order?
No, the only cost we've incurred is just the mailing of all this stuff out at this point, so.
I guess, Roger, my comment to that is there's always staff time involved with anything that we do, but Terry's correct that we don't have any out-of-pocket other than staff time.
Well, I didn't want to spend $250 or $300 on each one of these and then on the 18th, get rid of the reason for doing it, so that was my main.
Are you saying you want to table it?
Other comments, questions? Motion is to issue cease and desist orders against those named in the motion. Roll call.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Otter Shell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stare.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
John?
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I've ever had anybody tell me they couldn't hear my voice.
I could hear you, it just wasn't registering on.
You gotta have the microphone close to you, it doesn't, I found that out, yeah.
Discussion and no action items. Rule 5 changes to dryland reporting requirements, set hearing date. After staff reviewed and proposed changes to Rule 5 with legal counsel Don Blankenau to remove the requirements of dryland and tracts smaller than 25 acres from reporting requirements. There were some slight modifications. Staff provided the committee copies of the 3 pages with the language changes to meet the intent of removing dryland and tracts smaller than 25 acres from reporting and providing the district with language to request voluntary reporting on those tracts. Copies are attached. First draft of the water budget.
Wait a minute, before we, I got a question. The advertising has started for this hearing,
Yes, it has.
and it did state the time.
Yes.
Okay. It can't be changed then.
No,
Did you want it to be changed?
Well, I was just thinking, we usually allow 30 minutes for those, and that's 30 minutes into our board meeting.
Isn't the time set at 6 o'clock?
Well, I thought it was 7.
No, it's at
I
6.
believe it's 6 o'clock.
The hearing starts at 6.
My bad. Go ahead.
Staff presented the first draft of the Water Department 2027 budget. After review, the committee made recommendations for changes. Water level change map, staff provided the committee with the 2025 to 2026 groundwater level change map along with a copy of last year's map and a graph showing groundwater level changes since 1961. This year, the static water level dropped 0.1 feet, leaving the district average groundwater level 3.11 feet above the allocation trigger. Maps are attached. Well permit summary, there were 2 well permits issued in April, and there are currently 12,274 active irrigation wells in the district. Additional information was a copy of Jared Fling's Integrated Water Program Specialist March Activity Log was included in the packet. Phase 2 or Phase 3 irrigation sampling schedule. Irrigation water samples are due every 3 years in the Phase 3 areas of the district. When originally set up, the due date was set for the year following the last growing season of the cycle. Example, last year of cycle 2026 growing season was due with a due date of April 1st, 2027, so the past due notice was not going out until the year following the growing season. Staff asked the committee if the due date could be moved to the same year as the growing season. Example, last year of cycle 2026 growing season due date September 1st, 2026. By doing so, the producers will get their past due postcards when there is still time to start up the system to collect the sample. The committee agreed this will help clear up some confusion and get samples submitted in a timely manner. Well permits, currently the well permits have spaces to record both footage for a section line and latitude longitude coordinates. Drew is requesting to remove the footage from the permit application. By doing so, the point is going to be accurate and removes guessing where the measurement starting point was. Then he can write a script where he enters the latitude longitude and it will replace the point on the map. Then he can do his spacing checks from that point. Well drillers are required when submitting the well for registration to have a latitude longitude coordinates. The committee agreed that it is a good change, being it is already required by NDWEE. And that concludes my report.
Any questions on the Water Committee report? If not, Richard.
All right, okay. Projects and Programs Committee met last Thursday, May 14th at 7 p.m. in the NRD office in York. Committee members present, myself, Eversbacher, Keener, Miller, Perry, Staley, Weiss, Yates, other directors, Bethune, Dickinson, Outershout, Siebert, and staff members as listed below. Action items, land treatment program. There were 10 new land treatment applications, total estimated cost share of $39,237.29, and 1 new reverse osmosis system apps, total cost share of $500 this month. The committee reviewed the land treatment budget. Motion to pay for 1 completed NRD reverse osmosis system projects with a total cost share of $500 as reviewed by the committee. That motion carried 5 yes, 1 no, and I so move.
Second.
I got Perry. Comments, questions? Roll call.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Ottershout.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stare.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, a motion to pay for 9 completed land treatment projects with a cost share of $41,165.29 and 1 NRD land treatment project with a total cost share of $2,332 as reviewed by the committee. That motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Carried.
Comments, questions? Roll call.
Elge.
Yes.
Ottershope.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Seibert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stare.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item B, Recharge Lake Sediment Removal Design. EA Engineering submitted invoices covering the first months of the design work for the Recharge Lake Retention Design System projects as listed in invoice number covering February 19, 26 through March 31st, 26, or $2,020.19, and then invoice number 202600024551 covering April 1st through April 30th for a cost of $2,950.94. EA will attend next week's or this board meeting to present an update on the project, which they did. Motion to pay for EA Engineering a total of $4,971.13 for work completed on the Recharge Lake Retention System Design Project from February 19th through April 30th as reviewed by the committee. Motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Ottershope.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Seibert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stare.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Additional kayak launch, Oxbow Trail and Smith Creek. MD Aquatics of Lincoln has delivered and installed the kayak launch at Recharge Lake. Staff observed the installation and will be able to install future kayak launches. Staff recommended purchasing 2 additional kayak launches, one to be installed at Oxbow Trails Rec Area and one at Smith Creek Rec Area. Motion to purchase 2 additional kayak launches, one for Oxbow Trail Rec Area and one for Smith Creek Rec Area as reviewed by the committee. That motion carried 7 yes, 1 no, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. You have a second? Roger?
Who had the second?
Andrew.
Andrew, excuse me.
One of our customers was in today and he had a picture of a 5.5 pound bass he caught over there. The other day he said they caught over 20 between a pound and 5.5 pounds.
Out of a kayak?
No, they were in a boat. They were in a boat, but I just thought that was a pretty impressive catch.
Justin?
How much are these gonna cost?
They're around 2,300. I mean, but both of them will be under Dave's limit. They'll be under 5,000 for both. And we had them install this one, so we knew our maintenance guys kind of knew what was going on. And we ordered a tool that, they call them dog bones, that hook the dock section together. And you can slide that right between them and pull them up and hook them together. So it's a pretty easy process. The one guy was standing in the kayak launch as it's floating around, so they're pretty confident it'll be pretty easy for us to put them in.
Any other comments, questions? Roll call.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, no. Peterson.
Yes.
Seibert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stare.
Yes.
Yates.
No.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Ottershope.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried, 11 yes, 2 no.
Aurora Inclusive Playground payment request. The City of Aurora's Inclusive Playground is currently being installed. The concrete has been placed in a parking lot and the restroom is almost complete. Through an agreement with the city, the NRD agreed to provide 25% of the local cost share not to exceed $10,000 for the construction of the playground, including the restroom. Motion to pay the city of Aurora $10,000, which is 25% of $40,000 invoice, for construction of the restroom at the Aurora Inclusive Playground. That motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second. Been moved and seconded.
Bill.
Keener. Comments, questions? Roll call.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert. Yes. Staley.
Yes.
Stair.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elch.
Yes.
Ottershell.
Yes.
Keener. Did you already do that?
It was a yes.
Yes. Okay, and Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Executive session, to enter an executive session, protection of the public interest, to discuss possible land acquisition matters. Motion was to go to executive session, discuss possible land purchase. That motion carried 5 yes, 3 no. The committee entered into executive session at 7:46 p.m. Item F, executive session, discuss possible land purchase. Motion to exit executive session. Motion carried 8 yes, 0 no. The committee exited executive session at 8:03 p.m. Discussion and no action items. Publication of legal notice of meeting. The Open Meetings Act, Chairman advised those attendants that a current copy of Nebraska Open Meetings Act was posted and available to review near the entrance to the boardroom in accordance with state law. Water Quality Management Plan Cover Crop 2027. In 2026, the NRD offered a Water Quality Management Plan Cover Crop program with a cost share of $75 an acre for a one-year commitment. A number of producers continue with the initial cover crop program that has a tiered payment schedule that required a 5-year commitment. The NRD has received a number of applications for the one-year commitment program for fiscal year 2027. Staff has relayed to these applicants that this program will need to be set by the board. Staff asked the committee for guidance on whether to continue with program with the one-year commitment and continue to offer the 5-year commitment program. Staff reported in fiscal year 2026, initial apps received were going to utilize the entire $80,000 earmarked for the cover crop program, but a number of applicants dropped out to various reasons. Staff reported that it received a number of applications for next year for the one-year program, but staff has not given any commitments to funding these applications until staff receives program directions from the board. The committee discussed whether or not the one-year program should be continued. The committee will revisit the program at future committee meetings. Private dams program update. 2 dams have been completed and reimbursed in fiscal year 2026. Staff presented a listing of all private dams funded through the program. The NRCS continues to work on initial plans for a few private dams. None have proceeded to the formal app process, which requires a deposit and board approval prior to proceeding to final design. Nitrogen Reduction Incentive Act. Staff will begin calculating the baseline rates for the fiscal year 2027 Nitrogen Reduction Incentive Act applications. The state has provided $259,765 for fiscal year 2027 to fund all the applications received by the Upper Big Blue NRD. Item L, Nitrogen Use Efficiency Program, fiscal year 2027. Nitrogen Use Efficiency Program applications were due on May 15th. So far, the NRD has received applications for 38 tracts from 11 producers. The initial NRD share of funding from the state is $95,132, but similar to the fiscal year 2026 Nitrogen Reduction Incentive Act program, staff is anticipating the state will provide additional funding for the program if there are enough applications. Similar to the other program, staff has been informing NUE applicants that the maximum funding for each producer will be $7,500. This was based on the maximum funding level for the Nitrogen Reduction Act that used the maximum land treatment project funding at that time, $7,500, which recently has been increased to $10,000. Staff suggested that the program max may be raised to 10,000. Fiscal year 2027, applicants were already informed that their max would be 75. The motion was to increase the maximum payment for fiscal year 2027 up the Upper Big Blue Nitrogen Efficient Use Program from 7,500 to 10,000 as viewed by the committee. That motion failed, 3 yes, 5 no. Tree program update. This week, the staff completed all the NRD plantings, a total of 21. Staff provided a list of the plantings along with the map showing the location of the plantings. The committee asked for data comparing the last few years of tree planting, which will be provided at future committee meetings. Pioneer Trails Playground update. The contractor installing the playground will meet on site with staff next week. The playground has been completed and will be delivered on site in the near future. Rule 6, Upper Big Blue NRD Parks Regulations. Notice of the revised Rule 6 is currently being published. Requirements are that this notice needs to be published for 3 weeks. Oxbow Trail Handrail Supply Well, H&W Rail and Stair of Lincoln provided a cost estimated for an aluminum handrail of $7,470 back in October 2025. At that time, H&W stated the price would change depending on the price of aluminum at the time of the order. Staff wanted the concrete sidewalk to be completed and surveyed before ordering the handrail. H&W Rail and Stair notified staff that the cost of aluminum has gone up and the cost of the handrails will be approximately $1,000 higher than the original estimate. Staff recommended staying with the aluminum handrail even with the increased cost. Oxbow Trail Supply Well operation. Staff shut off the supply well on May 1st and the lake was at the top of the overflow. Staff reported that the lake level has dropped approximately 6 inches as of May 1st. Staff will continue to monitor the lake level and report back to the committee in June of 26. 2027 Projects Department budget. The committee reviewed the first draft of the Projects and Programs Department budget. The committee also reviewed the first draft of the 2027 Parks and Forestry Department budget. No additional information, and that is my report.
Jack, do you have an update on the Pioneer Trails?
Yeah, just a couple things. We do have one more tree planting to go. I must have missed one. They're going to have to go back. The tractor's getting fixed right now. As soon as they get the tractor done, they'll go out and finish that last one. And Pioneer Trails Playground is almost complete. They have one stair, a small stairway that did not get shipped with all their equipment. Otherwise, almost everything's done. They were putting in the mulch today, and I think they filled around the border, and actually, I don't know if they put in the seed on it or not, but that's about all they have left. So they really went to town on that, so it's almost done.
Did we go with wood mulch?
Yes.
Okay.
I did talk to them about, because there's, this company's done quite a few playgrounds, and they said they've had good luck with rubber mulch, but not recycled tires. They'd never seen that issue before, but they had a number with rubber mulch, but just not made from recycled tires. And that's where we got the grant. That's kind of where we went with that. I have one other issue. As far as land treatment programs, the state fiscal year ends I think a month before ours. The deadline for submitting payments to the state is June 15th. Now, our committee meeting's June 11th, board meeting's, I believe, June 18th. And we ran into this last year, and we had the committee approve the payments. Nancy helped us with the wording, so the wording of the motion last year in the committee was the payments need to be approved by the committee to meet the state's fiscal year deadline. The board will ratify this motion at the June 19th board meeting. So that's the way we handle that. Because we have quite a few of the tree plantings are getting completed that we're going to use that state money. And so if we don't get it by June 15th, we might lose some of that state money.
So we can use that at the next committee meeting.
Yeah, we can do that next meeting. I wanted to give you a heads up so I don't hit you out of the blue next meeting.
Any other questions on the projects report? If not, we'll move on to executive session. Bill?
The executive committee met on Thursday, May 14th, 2026 at the NRD office in York. Committee members present were Miller, Keener, Dickinson, Bouthane, Bohadi, Yates, Siebert, and Hattershell. Chairman Miller acknowledged that the legal notice of the committee meeting for May 14th, 2026 had been published in the York News Times. Miller advised those in attendance that the Open Meeting Act is posted by the entrance to the boardroom. Action item A, out-of-state travel. This year's NRD Basin Tour will be held June 8th and 9th, 2026. The tour will be through the South Platte Basin, starting in North Platte and traveling west. The tour will travel out of Nebraska and into Colorado. Out-of-state travel will be needed for participants. Motion to approve out-of-state travel for any director and up to 2 staff that wish to attend the 2026 NRD Basin Tour, which will be held June 8th and 9th, 2026, starting at North Platte, Nebraska. The motion carried, 8 yes, 0 no. And there's no board action required for that. The discussion for the 2026 GMDA Summer Conference will be held in July 21st through the 23rd in Lubbock, Texas. The motion was to approve for out-of-state travel for any director that wishes to attend the 2026 GMDA Summer Conference from July 21st to the 23rd in Lubbock, Texas. That motion carried, 8 yes and 0 no. And there's no board action required for that motion. Item B, Financial Institution Public Entity Authorization Resolution. A change in the district staffing has caused Henderson State Bank to request a copy of board meeting minutes ratifying the staff change in the new Public Entity Authorization Resolution, adding Sarah Arbuck as agent for the district. Authorize designated agents on the Upper Big Blue NRD Henderson State Bank accounts are Douglas Dickinson, Treasurer, David Eigenberg, General Manager, and Sarah Arbuck, Office Manager. Motion to ratify Sarah Arbuck as the Office Manager and provide Henderson State Bank with a copy of the May 2026 board meeting minutes notifying them of this change, and to provide a new Public Entity Authorization Resolution authorizing Doug Dickinson, Treasurer, David Eigenberg, General Manager, and Sarah Arbuck, Office Manager as district agents. That motion carried, 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. It doesn't state this in here, but it also removes Nancy from that. Any questions, comments? Roll call.
Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stair.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elch.
Yes.
Ottershell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item C, fiscal year 2027 salary schedule. Management provided a copy of proposed changes for the fiscal year 27 salary schedule from the fiscal year 26 salary schedule. Eigenberg explained the logic and the starting point behind the recommendation and answered questions. The schedule has been developed to provide guidance on the fiscal year 27 salary structure. Midpoints were calculated by taking an average of 5 NRDs with similar property valuations, annual payrolls, and staffing numbers. Midpoints were then used to develop a minimum of 80% and a maximum of 120% wage limits. Salary schedules will be used in accordance with the operating policy. The proposed salary schedule is attached to the report. Motion to approve fiscal year 27 salary schedule as presented. The motion carried 8 yes and 0 no. I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments on this? Roll call.
Siebert.
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Stair.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elch.
Yes.
Ottershell.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item D, fiscal year 2027 wage increase request.
The executive committee discussed the wages of the current staff positions. Eigenberg requested that the board authorize a 3.4 increase up to $56,660 for the fiscal year 27 salary increases for staff. Motion to adjust the annual fiscal year 27 salaries of the district staff, except for the general manager, by 3.4% of the fiscal year 26 payroll for up to $56,660, and to authorize the general manager to determine and make salary and wage adjustments in accordance with their operating policy. That motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Peterson. Comments, questions on this? Roll call.
Staley.
Yes.
Stare.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Eppersbacher.
Yes.
Elge.
Yes.
Ottershope.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Perry, yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
No action items. The 2026 Directors Tour. Management is planning for the annual event. This year's event will be in the northeast portion of the district on August 21st, 2026. Suggestions for specific subject matter were discussed, and the board members were asked to make recommendations. Item F, fiscal year 27 draft budgets. The fiscal year 27 draft budgets for public relations, office and administration departments were provided to the committee for consideration. Staff presented proposed budgets and answered questions. Item G, personnel report. Dave?
I'd like to welcome Gina Adelson to our team up in the front table. She will be taking over the duties of the board secretary as soon as she is comfortable with doing so.
Next week.
Which will probably be next week.
Yeah.
We've also had a summer intern hire. Drake Olson from Kennesaw has been hired. He's actually a student in Concordia as a junior. He will be returning next year as a senior. We have also hired a seasonal maintenance person. Dennis, help me out with the last name. Where's Paul's not here. Wietjes from York. He started on April 17th. He's working out just fine. That's all I have on personnel.
Item H, legislation. The 2026 legislation session has ended. Management will continue to send weekly NARD legislative summaries via email to the board when the legislative season begins again next January. Item I is investments. The monthly financial statement is attached. Item J, additional information. You can see all the upcoming events listed on the back page. That meeting adjourned at 10:05 PM, and that concludes my report.
Quick question. On the investments, will we end up having to take out some of that stuff for the recharge watershed improvement eventually here?
Potentially, depending upon the amount that the design comes back at. I have tried to stagger the amount of CDs, so next fiscal year, I'm very confident we can get the money out. It may not be in the first 6 months of next fiscal year, though.
Good question. Any other questions on investments or the exec committee report?
On our EA
Yeah.
engineering that we just approved, that's what he's talking about?
Yeah, those.
Yeah. But that's a
Three-year,
three-year
yeah.
contract, so.
No, he's talking
You were,
about the
I think the question
recharge
was
design.
recharge, right?
Yeah, the recharge, yeah.
Okay, what about EA? What about the additional 124,000?
That's Terry, help me out with this, but that's already in the sustainable,
Yes, that's already in the.
so that's a pass-through except for 20%?
40%.
40%. But that's included in next year's budget. Terry's already put that in.
Okay.
It was anticipated in the budget when it was presented, so. Any other questions? If not, do you have a financial statement? In an easier format to read in front of you tonight, so.
Well, Sarah has attempted to make it bigger. The paper is bigger, the font's the same, though.
Well, she's halfway there.
Give you a few moments to look it over. You should have got an email on it, or I did anyhow, earlier last week, I believe.
That is for Jared, when he's out in some of the areas, we don't have a good signal from his cell phone, so it is through his pickup that we put on a wireless connection for him to use internet.
Yeah.
47704. Higher than the 5 37098.
You said 47704?
Yeah, the third one down, $370.98 for the trailer tire.
There is no 477.
Yeah, it's on page 5. I do not know, I can't answer that. I'll get back.
It seems like a lot of dollars for.
I would say it was probably 2 tires on that 2-wheel trailer, but that's just a guess. I will find out for sure.
Yeah.
447.
Yeah.
Dave, when you were in DC, the motel expense, there's 2 items. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I had a real good time.
It looks that way. It looks that way.
I took my kids along, and they did not issue my credit card their rooms. So I have written a check to the NRD for $2,400 and some change, I don't know, for their room. It was an oversight. They had my credit card on file, and they saw my name on both rooms, and they charged me.
They're just curious. I thought maybe in DC, they charge a lot for a motel room too.
They went to all the meetings with you too, right?
What does a room a night there? What does it cost?
$438.
It's almost as bad as a Husker football weekend.
I think it was $490, and that's probably been 8 years ago at that Embassy Suites. Because we didn't stay there the first couple nights.
It's free if you have family out there.
Motion to approve the financial statement and pay the bills.
Second.
I got Staley. There was one over here, but I didn't see who it was. Bill Staley, for a second. Any other questions, comments?
Chairman,
Yeah.
on 438.06, that freezer for the Vados, why do they need a freezer for that? Do they have to keep those samples cold or something, or what?
Yes, they have to
Okay.
be. According to Ward Laboratory, they like them frozen. We did not have enough freezer space. When the first time I helped load the samples, we had 8 large coolers full of samples and probably a half dozen smaller coolers. So what we did, we bought a chest-type freezer that can be used as a refrigerator or a freezer. So the setting is that if you want it as a refrigerator, you'd turn it to refrigerator mode or froze.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Stair,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Peppersbacher,
Yes.
Elge,
Yes.
Ottershell,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Perry, yes, Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Bowers, is anything exciting happening down south?
Down south, yes. It was an exciting weekend. I'll just say that. So, what we've been working on the last month, kind of a repeat of what I talked about last month, but working through our EQIP. We got them all ranked. They're starting to do pre-approvals. We're trying to get them all obligated by June 5th. Out of those, we had 198 applications total. Out of those, we ended up with 32 approved so far, which put us at about 1.1 million locally. And then we had another additional funds that we'll have from the state that will be on top of that, and I'll have those figures later on. Our new systems, they don't work quite the same, and it's really hard to tally up everything, so that our state funds are added on. So I'll get those funds to you, but about 1.6 so far, including our wildlife funds that we got, and then we'll have additional ones on top of that. So locally, we're gonna have a lot of conservation on the ground, so.
Good.
CSP applications, we got approximately 10 of those. I say approximately, even though our deadline's here at June 1st, because we still have producers that need to bring us in some data. So, as you know, with the CSP, it's a whole farm approach. There's a lot of data that goes into those applications. So that's gonna hit us right in the middle of our obligation deadline, of course, but, we got most of those done except for some data that we're waiting on, so. Talked a little bit about this last month as well. Compliance reviews, normally we're ahead of the game, but we did not receive those until about 2 weeks ago, a list of names that we were supposed to go out and review. Normally we have those out 2 weeks in advance. That way when guys are done planting, we can get out there right away and take a look at them. We did not get those out until about a week and a half ago, and so we are going out and reviewing those currently. Majority of stuff is all planted, so we can go out and take a look and get our compliance reviews done. But that's taken up quite a bit of our time between those 3 items right there, and we'll continue to do that throughout until the beginning of June. We do have QAR, Quality Assurance Review, from our area offices. They come out about every 3 years. And review a lot of our practices. So we're chosen this year, so they're coming out the first full week of June, and we'll be out visiting all the field offices and coming through, and typically we sit down and visit with Dave a little bit. So we'll be working on that and setting that up. That'll take up some time, as well as just making sure if they have any questions or anything like that, or anything that we may have missed, we may have to make a few corrections on some things. Local work group, I'll give you guys this reminder this month, and I'll remind you next month. July 8th is when we're gonna have our local work group meeting. If you guys don't know what that is, it's for us to get together with our partners, visit about, and with landowners, and visit about what resource concerns are our high priority. We used to discuss quite a bit about programs and got into more of that detail. What they're really looking for is, what are our resource concerns locally? And are we addressing those with our current programs? And if we're not, are there other programs available that we can look at? Here in this area, we've already used and may be able to do it again, but our CPP, the partnership program, that's what they're really looking at, is seeing if we're using those additional programs and if we can, what else we can do if we're not reaching those, as well as supplying our information back to the state office of what we'd like to see as our major resource concerns in this area. So
That meeting will be in York?
it'll be right here.
Good.
So, talk to me off the side, whatever you want to do, if you have additional questions. I know a couple of you came last year. It's great to get your input. So, if you hear anything or have producers have questions, have them reach out to me and I'd be glad to have a visit with them and let them know what it's all about. One last item is, I had talked about Rob being gone. He is back, so I actually sat in this week on a leadership team meeting and got to listen to what is going on up in Lincoln. So it was good to see him back. So, any questions for me? Thank you.
Don't see any. Thanks. Paul, what's happening in NARD?
Loss Control Committee met this afternoon. I know last week it was asked about health and dental insurance changes. Their recommended is no change in the cost of those. They'll have to go to the full board June 8th meeting, but seeing no major qualms about that, that should stay. Then the only other thing I have is the tour on the 8th and 9th, so unless somebody has questions for me, that's all I got today.
Any questions, Paul? If not, does anyone have any comments from the public that was not on the agenda? Just sure.
I see that there was a bunch of people who went to the Blue River Compact basically. Can I get a report from them?
Yeah. I was, yeah, go ahead. There was 5 staff members and myself went. Dave looks like he has a full report if he can find it. Nutrients and settlements. Go ahead.
What we typically do for our report, Terry and Jack give our report. I give a little bit of introduction. In your packet from the committee meeting, and I can get you a copy, is the written copy of our report. A lot of water quality. This is one of the few, if not the only, compact that has both water quantity and quality involved. So Kansas is always concerned about the quality of water that is going across the line into Tuttle. Again, that was a focus point. I think that there's a lot of concern about the quantity of water in Nebraska, not so much across the border. I think that it's more quality. I think there's a lot of concern in the lower Big Blue about dams and the retention and maintenance of those dams. Nothing different than what we have, only they have a whole lot more than what we do. The meeting was fairly well attended. I think there was probably 20 from Nebraska.
Yeah.
And probably about the same number. That's just a guesstimate.
I was 30 to 35 total, so.
Yeah, is what I was saying. Next year, it will be probably in Manhattan again, a little bit farther travel time for us.
Any of you other guys got anything to fill in? Jack?
Yeah, I think Dave kind of covered it. They were real concerned about sedimentation in a lot of their big reservoirs. They also talked about string bank stabilization to stop the sediment from getting in. I might see kind of what some of their techniques are to get that done, because we get a few questions about string bank stabilization. That we kind of, and it's one of their land treatment projects that we cost share with, that we work with the NRCS for. So I'm going to mean to contact them and see what kind of activities they're doing on that.
Marie?
Kansas has also started in Tuttle Creek using that air dredging, where they inject air into the sediments at the bottom of the lake to move them into suspension. And then, excuse me, then they open the lower gates of the dam to take that sediment, to draw that sediment through to pass it down. Yeah, pretty much.
And that is one of their concerns, is what's happening down below.
Yeah. Not only concerns about what happens as it enters the Missouri, and then further on into the Mississippi, but those stream beds are also a source of recharge for their aquifers moving down, and will those sediments plug the recharge pores as it deposits and settles out. And they are having a sedimentation summit, wasn't that what they called it, coming up here in the middle of June, where they're going to talk about, like Jack said, the stream bank stabilization and sedimentation problems in their reservoirs.
Terry, anything to add?
No, they covered it pretty well. Like I said, I think their main concern is the sediment issue. It's, we talked about the groundwater quality, but it's more the quality of the surface water.
A couple other things. The Big Blue, they had no calls on the Big Blue last year, but there was 11 days of calls on the Little Blue. And even though it was dry, it seemed like there was timely rains that kept the flow above the call levels. So. In the Nebraska report, they were reporting impairments, and they were talking about aquatic life, and some of those that were reported was aluminum was found in the Big Blue. Atrazine was found in the West Fork of the Big Blue and Lincoln Creek and the Big Blue. Lead in the Little Blue. Mercury at Pioneer Trails, Little Blue River. And high pH at Oxbow and Prairie Lake. So, and our water master thought we had over 1,000 irrigation wells in the state. So. He was corrected. So,
Who comes from Kansas? I mean, what do they have down there? Explain it to us, their setup.
It's very similar to the Department of Ag here, but they're in charge of the water. They send, on the board itself, there are 2 advisories, and then Matt is our voting member, and the voting member for Kansas.
Nebraska means that NRD guy, the new guy.
he's talking about the voting member. I was thinking it was the director of Ag.
Yeah, Matt Manning from Bowie and
Department of Ag, isn't it, from Kansas?
You two are talking about two different things. The voting members, there are two voting members. One from Nebraska, which used to be the DNR head, who is now the water master, and Kansas, I was thinking it was their Department of Ag director, but I could be wrong with that title. There's just two votes.
This is the,
It's probably hard to get a second, so you probably won't have a tie. It fails. Yeah. And then there's two non-voting advisory members, the new one from the Little Blue and.
no, the lower.
I thought he was from Little Blue.
Nope.
I'm wrong again. Bad night, so. And the gal from Kansas actually came from Nebraska, right?
Well, she's always lived in Kansas.
Oh.
She was part of the Nature Conservancy here and was the lead for the Nature Conservancy in Nebraska.
Okay. And she's retired from that to become a stay-at-home mother, so. That's pretty well what happened there, so. Any other public comments? If not, that was, remember, next month, committee meetings will all be on Thursday, the 11th, starting at 6 p.m. We'll have our second round going through the budgets. I would suggest if you have questions or comments or additions, you might want to contact the supervisors prior to the meeting and let them know so they could have the answers, try and make it go as quickly as possible. We also, after the compact meeting, had a chance to tour the new Lower Big Blue offices and maintenance, and they've got a real nice setup. They were to be in there April 15th. It looked like they're 2 or 3 months down the road to me. They don't, the inside's not finished yet. They've got a nice setup there, and I don't know how they did it, but they come in. They got, well, especially shop space, I think they got more than we do at 4 million. And so, and their office building is very adequate too. So if you ever get down there, it's kind of northwest of the hospital, right on the north side of town. So I have nothing else. Anybody else got anything? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second. Motion to adjourn.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.